Hi there guys, and welcome to your March reading with me. Hey, welcome Taurians, this is your reading. So the card that you see in front of you is just the very beginning of the reading. We will be using 10 cards all up, 4 from the Morgan Greer and then 4 soul energy cards to interpret the meanings or the intensity and the close soul connection message for them, and then at the end a final message to tie up the reading. So to start the reading we have these numerology cards or numerical cards, and your number for the month is 74. You can add that together and of course that gives you 11, which is a master number. So you can also reduce 11 down to 2, but they give off a similar vibration. 11 is quite a spiritual number, and it talks to us about our spiritual connection and the thought paradigm along those realms. Number 2 is about bringing balance into situation and harmony and relationships. Now if we go down to the word at the bottom of the card, it says nature. So it's talking to you guys, you Taurians here, about connecting with nature a little bit more. And of course you are the earth sign, you're the bull, the zodiac, you're the bull of the zodiac, so you've got that grounded feeling anyhow. And I think for a lot of Taurians you need to be connected to nature. So maybe a message for some of you to get outdoors a little bit more, come back to the grounding, the solidness of nature and Mother Earth, and pull on some of her strength to enrich your already powerful strength. We utilise the colours as well, so we've got the green, which is all about nurture and love and the heart chakra energy, and also that perspective or dynamic of your body. We also have the purple Merkaba in the middle, and that talks to us again about our spirituality and our third eye part of our body. So remembering to trust your gut instincts and connect with your intuitive abilities. So Taurians, let's put that card up here towards the back, and we will deal now your cards for the reading. So as I say, there are 4 of these Morgan Greer cards, one basically for each week of the month, but they are kind of fluid and they will not be set totally in stone. The energies flow for the month. And we've just been through the eclipses of February, so those eclipses tended to allow for a lot of change to take place. Your first card is the Ace of Swords. Your second is the Devil. And again, that's representative of Earth and that base chakra energy. Your third card is the Three of Rods, and your fourth card is the Moon. So 2 major arcanas and an ace, which is always nice. Whoops, that's the last cards. These are the next cards that we will put one for each one underneath those and see what soul message is being parted for you to also learn, understand and connect with. So this is for Taurus for March. They're quite difficult to shuffle, these ones, they're rather stiff, but okay. Relationships, purpose, surrender and trust. So the mandala cards at the bottom are actually very powerful. Mandalas have frequency vibrations in them that give off a vibe that is attracted to us, or that we will pick up, and it will be directed at a certain area of our psyche or our subconscious that needs to be lifted or balanced. So while the reading is taking place, it's important for you guys to pick out one of the mandalas that you are really attracted to and focus on that, and utilize its energies for the month as well. Now we predominantly see a lot of the purple coming through here, which is what your Merkaba was up here. So that's the third eye energy of the body. So it's about clairvoyance and psychic and intuitive abilities. And it's also the crown chakra as well, so opening up that crown chakra to source energy and ideas and knowing that you can trust yourself in making some decisions and things. So let's start off with the Ace of Swords at the very beginning of the reading on the top left. It's an ace, which is always great, so it usually means success and new beginnings. This ace can often come to us after something has been a little bit sour, and there could have been arguments or disagreements or documentation that needed signing for something to progress further into a more positive state. It usually, when it turns up in your reading, shows a degree of success and says, yes, you win, okay, you've done it, yay, but at a cost. So this card can turn up literally when a divorce is finalised. So some of you might be signing the papers for the final divorce, or the separation of a business partnership, or the moving away or the separating of a long time friendship, or some sort of agreement that you may have had. It could be even around financial implications. So some of you may have had shares or bonds or properties or something to sell, and there's been trouble or a difficulty, or it's taken a long time to get it solved and sorted, but this means that's done and it's coming your way and it's finalised and it's moving on. Now the card underneath definitely talks about relationships, and it says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So in this we kind of acknowledge that there are relationships involved, so there could be more than just yourself. It could involve other people here, and the success that's coming means that you have probably learnt that you didn't need these people in your life that you are moving away from and separating from, and have now finally gained freedom, if you like. That these people weren't serving the highest good, and that you were depleted by them, so that success wasn't part of the story, whereas it is now when the Ace of Swords turns up. So something for you all to ponder on. It will be a little bit different for each and every one of you. Some of you it will be business related partnerships, and some this is going to be personal. We come to the next card and we see the Devil, and we know that traditionally the Devil talks to us about balance. So the message here is bringing balance and harmony into your life. And this card underneath is clarifying, and it says purpose. I know what I am here to do. Now often when the Devil turns up, it's because we have had situations or emotional perspectives that are out of balance, and we've lost our way, and we've forgotten our purpose, and we forget what we're here to do. When we become out of balance, we get things like addictions. This could be food or alcohol or smoking or drugs or working or pleasure, pornography, sex, relationships, becoming a sports addict and going nuts over doing marathons or climbing mountains, anything that takes hold of us that pushes a situation out of kilter. That's the Devil. And he says, guys, wake up, readjust some things, drop some things off and balance back. Remember your purpose. So again, if there were any relationships that were not serving you to your best, this is the time to get rid of them and move on. So kind of a clarification going on there, I think. The third week we see the third card and the Three of Wands. Now he is often about creativity and about your career or your feelings and passions in life. He often is contemplating looking ahead and into the future and wondering what direction he wants to take. This card often insinuates change and can sometimes even tell us that there is going to be a change of residence, or the thought of moving overseas or contemplating that. Sometimes this card will turn up when there are job offers overseas or away from where you currently live. Now it says surrender. I can release my need to control. So something in here might be that you are taking the lead and wanting to take it in a certain direction. Oftentimes this three means there are three people involved or more than just yourself, and sometimes you're not taking everybody's perspective into consideration. So if we surrender our need to be fixated on which direction something is going in, we can either A, hear the other people's point of views and pick up the positives from it, or B, we allow the universe to then bring in what's coming in the very best way for us. So by releasing control and allowing a broader horizon and a more expansive view, you will see more insight for the clarity of where you wish to go for the future. It goes hand in hand, and they do match really well. They look an odd coupling, the cards, because they're quite juxtapositional. They're not really gelling, but they are telling us there's definitely some message here about having faith and having trust, connecting to this in particular, your psychic sense and your third eye, and getting more and becoming more intuitive with decisions you are making, especially about your creative part of your life and your career part of your life. So the last card we come to is your fourth week. As I say, they're all a little bit fluid. And we see here the moon. Now the moon is another major arcana for you, and it's another one of those sort of slightly hidden ones. You've got two of the major arcanas in your reading about addressing issues, to be fair and frank. And I think that's probably come about through this energy of the ecliptical moons and the planetary alignments that we're currently traversing through, and the configuration of them. Classically we're talking about the moon and a full moon, or the eclipses that have just occurred. So there's something here about energy that's been ramped up and that has started or is activated one way or another. Now the moon is the feminine side of our lives, it's the hormonal side, it's the intuitive side. And it's interesting that right beneath the moon you have this word trust, and it says, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So I think in particular for you guys, Taurians, this moon card is telling you to trust your inner thoughts, your perspectives, your gut feelings. If there are people around you who don't seem trustworthy, boy, back away in a hurry. Because often when the moon is out like that, there are some untrustworthy people around. And you've even had some of that possibly with the devil there. A little bit about unhealthy potential relationships, or not being treated fairly and correctly as well. Oftentimes that devil will show up where there is abuse or misuse in relationships, and it can be that you're the one who's being not treated fairly or kindly or equivocably. Now with the moon, sometimes it also tells us that things could be going on at night or under the cover of something hidden, so a hidden guise of some sort. Sometimes this card even hints at marital affairs or people having affairs, like hidden relationships that you don't want other people to know about. So there can be three people involved. One of them could be a water sign person, sort of Scorpion or Cancer-y. So if there are relationships that you are taking part in and that you do want them hidden for whatever reason, you might think twice about it and really connect with yourself and see what the reason is that you want it hidden, or why the other person is saying to keep it hidden. So there could be a whole bunch of things for you to think about in the month of March, and really address the reasons behind why things are happening in your life and why you want to make changes and how the changes need to happen. The moon also talks to us a lot about dreams and intuitive abilities. So you could have heightened senses of intuitive messages. You could get clairvoyant dreams or insight or psychic messages coming to you. Synchronistic events are particularly important to listen to and have trust that what you're hearing or thinking that you think a certain situation is, that it probably is going on underneath. So feel into the nature of deals and people and attitudes and vibrations around you in the month of March. It is like the Pisces month, and Pisces energy is very spiritual and etheric and, you know, sort of up in the clouds and connecting with the spirit essences and souls. So there is quite a lot of that connective energy around, and I think for you Taurians it will give you a chance to really take charge and take power and be strong for this month. Really connect with yourself and don't trust situations or people who look dodgy or dicey, or if they're trying to sell you something or talk you into something that sounds too good to be true, then it will be something to steer very, very clear of. Also keep guard of your personal identity, especially over the internet. Things like computer theft or ID theft can be quite prevalent in situations and times like this as well. So there you are, Taurians. You do have what I consider to be quite an in-depth or a heavier reading. It's really reaching the inner part of you, and I think there is mode for change in your reading and areas where you can clean up and boot out the junk, really, the junk that no longer suits you and that isn't doing you positive service. So let's put these ones away and look at the last card that comes out for you. Which is from this deck. It is a beautiful deck. They're very insightful and they're highly energetic cards. They come to you from the fairy realm, and those fairies are like really hyperactive little beings that are very connected to nature and the earth, and they jump around a lot. They're like, the cards are even full of energy. They're hard to control, so they definitely have their own power and what they want to present with. So this is for Taurians. Admit your true feelings to yourself. Yeah, and I think you've had, you know, we've talked a lot about that in the reading. So it is about being honest and truthful to yourself and standing up for yourself in particular, and not allowing other people to down talk you or, you know, or run roughshod over you. So admit your true feelings to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Only you know what it is that you truly deserve. And that is the truth. You know, other people can say to you, oh, you know, listen to me, or do as I say, or you haven't got the right to behave like that, or no, I'm not going to give you that. That's rubbish. You do know what's right for you, and you should always stand up for yourself, and you should always be the one taking the positive energies and putting them into your life. So giving yourself nurture and love and guidance and strength and happiness and laughter and bliss, all of those euphoric positive feelings. You deserve every single one of them. So if there have been people around you who haven't allowed that to happen, or have seemingly looked down on you, or have been abusing your gifts of love and nurture in one way or another, then it's high time to get that out and move it on. You know, people can't just abuse everyone these days, and there's too much of that goes on. So there's a definite message here about regaining your strength and grounding yourself again to get that strength with nature. And that's a beautiful picture of nature, and there she is sitting out in the grass with all that lovely green as well. And that matches really beautifully with that first card that you had, the green and the purple, tying together again. So however you decide to, you know, energize the cards and the energies and the colours, that's up to you individually, but I think you've got some good messages and some really good starting points. So hey Taurians, thanks for listening, subbing and liking. I love doing these for you all, and I hope you have really enjoyed the reading. It's a beautifully in-depth one. There's plenty to ponder for you. So have a wonderful March, be strong and get that Taurian strength energy out there and, you know, blast away anything that's not right anymore. And I shall see you all again in April. Much love everyone. Namaste.